kind of an interesting story. A couple years ago, my mom came into town shortly after my dad passed away, and we were trying to decide what it was we wanted to do with our free Saturday, what doesn't seem to happen very often. And she and I went for a joyride and ended up at Smith & Edwards. It was a place I had never been before, and parked the car, started walking through the yard, and my mom took a little bit of a sigh of like, man, I'm glad I don't live here. And as we wandered through looking at all of the rusty treasures in there, I saw in the distance the back end of this train, which is the end of the car that points to the north. And I just had to know it. So I walked over, and it was kind of love at first sight. I think from a designer's standpoint, there's a simplicity and a beauty in train buildings and in train cars. So simple lines, attention to detail, just even the simplest of things. You think of the electrical cabinet in the back, even the way they laid out their electrical panels, it was an art form. Mm-hmm. And so an artisan from a train hand, I guess, it's very, very similar to an artisan with a fine piece of furniture or something else. So I love the weight, the texture, and what drew me to the outside of the train was the patina around the perimeter. Some people see rust and they're like, get me out of here, and I see rust and it just invites me in. And we've even had individuals that have stopped by here just within the last 24 hours that have voiced the memory or the recollection that military trains would come by our tracks here, and actually they would drop the soldiers at the we're the freight depot, and that would be the passenger. So this type of a car would have dropped the soldiers at the passenger depot.